Hello everyone, and welcome to something slightly different here on the Big Tasty Danish channel. You may be seeing some Minecraft on your screen, but that is not what today's video is about, which I'm sure you probably guessed by the title being My First Warhammer Tournament. But yeah, so if you're not too fussed about Warhammer, if you just came for the Minecraft, feel free to skip to the timestamp that I'm going to put up once I know how long this video is going to be. And there will be a little tour of the build that I'm doing in the background here. But if you want to hear about some Warhammer stuff and my experience at my first tournament, please just sit back and enjoy the ride. So yeah, as the title suggests, and as I think I mentioned in my last Minecraft video, on Sunday I went to my very first ever Warhammer tournament. I haven't been collecting for very long. I think I technically started just over a year and a half ago, but being a broke mid-20s guy, I haven't really bought that much and haven't had that much time to really paint a whole lot either, so even though I've technically been collecting for a while, you would not be able to tell by my collection. But that's okay, I enjoy it, it's good fun, and just an extra little nerd hobby to have on the side. Anyway, last week on Wednesday, one of my friends from work told me about a tournament he was going to on the weekend. They were running 3 tournaments at the same time actually. It was just a local little tournament in my area, nothing crazy, not very big at all. I think there was 6 of us doing the Neophyte League, which is like for beginners or people who are new to the tournament scene of Warhammer or who are just new to Warhammer in general. Then they had the Acolyte League, which was I think about 32 people in that one, which was the people who knew a bit more about what they were doing and actually have been playing for a while, a bit more advanced level gameplay. And at this event they also actually had an Age of Sigmar tournament running as well, or an Old World tournament, I'm not 100% sure. Either way, there was some fantasy stuff happening. But still, yeah, it was good fun. It was a bigger event than I was expecting to see. I didn't think that there'd be that many people there. So that was exciting to see all the really cool armies painted up. Now, unfortunately, I didn't take too many pictures early on. I kind of realized I haven't got any pictures of my first game, but I realized afterwards I have a couple from my second and my third game. So that can be, I'll put them up while I'm talking about it. But yeah, I guess we'll just get into the first, well, I should probably go through what I ran first of all. So I've been collecting Chaos Space Marines for the longest, and I have about, I don't know, maybe 1,000 points of Chaos Space Marines. If you know Warhammer, you know what that means. If you don't know Warhammer, if you're watching this as a new to Warhammer viewer, every model has a certain number of points assigned to it, and then to make it fair, there's like a point limit for tournaments, so you can only bring a certain amount of points. That way it kind of just balances out you and your opponent's teams to make it a bit more fair. So it was a 2,000 point tournament, but I only had about 1,000 points from me. So I borrowed some units, some models from my friend, who was a guy who told me about the event, and he made the list and everything for me, so I didn't actually know really what I was going to be running going into the event. So I spent like Thursday and Friday just cramming my brain full of what each unit did, what things I could use in the fight and everything. But I did bring as many of my own models as I could, which I'll put some up on screen now. I'm quite happy with how some of them are painted. I brought some Chaos Terminators, some Legionnaires, some Cultists, some Possessed, my Demon Prince, who is the least painted model I have in that army. And then from my friend, he lent me the big boy Abaddon, who's like the strongest Chaos Space Marine model you can get. which is a bit of a investment, so I haven't actually bought him myself. So there's a good chance to give him a try out and see what he does. He also lent me some obliterators, a tank, a rhino, and just a couple more terminators and possessed to really flesh out my own units. So yeah, that was the list I ran. They are the faction that I have the most knowledge about, but even so, it was way too much to take in, and my brain hurt almost as much as my legs did after standing up for 10 hours straight, and they hurt a lot. Anyway, on to game number 1. So my first ever tournament game was against Death Guard, which kinda scared me a little bit. They're known for being very tanky, very hard to kill, and really annoying to deal with. And the guy I was playing against, he had Mortarion, which is like the big bad model for that army, and he scared me a bit. Luckily, he didn't actually end up doing too much. He kind of just sat back and helped his other units be a little bit tankier, I guess, and was just being a bit annoying on the back lines. But yeah, going into that, the other guy I played against, super nice guy. He was very understanding. He was also quite new to the hobby. He knew a little bit more than me, so he was a bit more switched on about what to roll for certain things and how certain abilities and stuff works. He was very chill, very understanding about my slightly worse knowledge than him. So we got the game underway. We deployed everything. Like I said, unfortunately, I haven't got any footage from any pictures or anything from this game. So you'll just have to take my word for what happened. So yeah, we got deployed and everything. Fairly sure he got first turn. He just deployed pretty standardly. We both deployed pretty standardly. He had some little annoying Nurgling units scattered around, which I actually had a couple of as well. I forgot that in the list because they were also my friend's models. So he had a few of them around, and their whole deal was just to get in the face and to be annoying. They don't actually do much. They just kind of hold up units so they can't fight elsewhere or shoot elsewhere or anything. So he had a few of them scattered around as well. That game was actually very close, considering it was my first ever tournament game. I think I was ahead for the first couple of turns, but then by turn 3 he had just positioned better, taken down a few of my units. So I think by turn 2 I was up maybe what was the score? Would have been probably like 30 to 20, something like that. But then turn 3 he just kind of took off, ran away with it a little bit, and we did run out of time unfortunately for that game. So we got to like the end of his turn 3 when time got called, so we had to just discuss amongst ourselves what the plan would have been, like kind of like play out the rest of the battle just hypothetically and add up the scores and stuff that way. So yeah, that was a close, fun game. I ended up going down unfortunately in that one, 81 points to 44. But again, guy I played against, super lovely guy, really nice, really friendly and understanding. And it was a very positive way to start the day. So on to the second game. So the second game, I was going into some Blood Angels. Again, against a guy who was also probably the most equal level of game knowledge to me. He was also very new to the game. But he had a very strange Blood Angel list. He had about, I don't know, 6 or 7 vehicles and only like 2 squads of infantry, or like normal regular troops. So it's a very strange list to play against. But luckily I had some guys to deal with all the vehicles. I had my obliterators, I had my demon prince. He could fly around and be annoying. He has like a ability where if you charge in to something, once you hit them, you can roll some dice to just deal extra damage to them, deal extra mortal wounds they're called, which just goes through automatically, nothing that can save it. So he did some work flying around, hitting tanks, blowing them up, and so did my obliterators. So that game also started out quite close. I was actually down for the first couple of turns. I think by the end of turn 2 he was maybe up, like the reverse of what the first game was. So he was up 30 to 20 his way. But I just happened to draw some really good secondaries. Because my position was a little better. I had some deep strike. You can see on these on the pictures up on the screen. I managed to deep strike my obliterators and my demon prince in quite nicely into the back line and contest his objectives. So by the end of turn 3, I think, or turn 4, I controlled all 5 objectives, which was very good for scoring primary. And that one we did get a bit further in the game. I think we got to the end of turn 4 before time ran out, so we only had to worry about hypothetically working out the score for one round, which was good. The middle objective there, you can see where Abaddon is sitting right between those 2 buildings. There's a lot of action happening there. There's probably a tank, a dreadnought, and one of his squads of tactical marines were attacking me in there for like the whole game. But Abaddon and his squad of terminators just kept taking attacks, shrugging them off, swiping back with rolling like, I don't know, 20 dice at a time in combat and just absolutely crushing stuff in the middle there. So borrowing Abaddon for this tournament definitely made me want to pick him up myself. He is very strong and very good fun to play with. So definitely, if anything came out of this tournament, it would definitely be that I'm going to pick up Abaddon sooner rather than later. So yeah, that game, another really fun game. The guy was very chill. Everyone at this tournament that I interacted with was super chill and friendly, which was good. It made me really happy to be part of the hobby. And I actually got my very first ever win in a Warhammer game that wasn't just among my friends and stuff. So yeah, I ended up going up 78 points to 54 points on that one. And I was just happy. That was like my achievement for the day, was have my demon prince destroy a unit, because he has had some very bad luck in the past where I drop him down and he just gets blown up immediately. So he took down a tank or a dreadnought and a couple of units as well of just infantry. So I was very happy he got that taken care of. And I also won a game, which was my main goal going in. So yeah, by game 2 I had already achieved what I'd set out to do for the day, and I could go home a happy chappy. Unfortunately, my happiness did not last very long, because in game 3 I was up against World Eaters. For those of you who know Warhammer, you know that World Eaters are a bit of a nightmare. They just run at you full pelt and just hit you in the face with a bunch of shit. And I don't know what happened to my dice. In this last game, they just betrayed the hell out of me and I started rolling like absolute crap. So, as you can see here from the picture up on the screen, I had set up somewhat conservatively. I tried kind of like spreading out so that we were far enough away. But this was after his turn 1. He basically moved everything just super far up the board and was just already right in my face. So like any charges he made would reach me and take me out fairly instantly. So this was the only game that didn't actually run out of time in, but we'll get to that in a minute. First things first, I'll just explain a bit more. So this one here, the other 2 games I played, quite close early on. Could have gone either way, and then just swung at about the halfway point towards the victor. This game, I had nothing from the beginning. I think I ended up getting 10 points only, and I think that was because my cultists here that you can see on the bottom of the screen, on that objective marker, had stickied that objective, which means that they just control it even if they leave the objective marker. They controlled that, and that got me 2 lots of 5 points before he took it over and got more points for it. So yeah, this game was rough. Abaddon leading the Terminators, that was a plan because he's a character, and characters can't be attacked until the unit that they are leading has been destroyed. So I thought, hey, the plan for that was he's got a lot of bodies around him. They're all really tough. They've got good saves. They've got a 5-up in-roll save, which is very strong. So they'll be able to shrug off a bunch of wounds and things before it gets to Abaddon. But unfortunately, this guy here playing the World Eaters had a character who had precision, which means that he can target characters inside of blocks of units. So Abaddon was fair game, and he took him out in like turn 1. So he was just gone, nothing I could do about it. And then the Terminators just got whittled down, everything else got just slammed into and attacked by everything, like all these berserkers, the 8-bound. This tank at the top of the screen here didn't do anything all game, it just sat there. And then of course he had the big bad himself, Angron. Angron just ran around kicking the shit out of my little guys. I did manage with the Obliterators. Once I knew that this game was downhill, like I think turn 3, I knew that I had no chance of winning. My main goal was just to kill Angron. And lo and behold, on turn 3, I killed Angron. The Obliterators are deep striked in. They used their big guns on him and got rid of him. It was glorious. I was very happy. And then I remembered that Angron can come back if the other guy rolls the dice well enough. And he did. So turn 4, Abaddon comes back onto the table and just, wipes out the rest of my army. By the beginning of turn 5, I have 1 Obliterator left on the table with 2 wounds left. And I basically just, I conceded at that point. We had an hour left before the end of the tournament, and I wanted to sit down. So I just threw the gauntlet in. Or threw the gloves in, I don't know what the saying is. Basically I gave up, because there was no way I was coming back with 1 Obliterator left, with his entire army still up and standing. But again, the guy I played against, super nice guy, super friendly. We had a few laughs along in the game, so I wasn't too mad. So that game there, I actually lost 89 points to 10, which was an absolute stomping. So not the best way to end the day, but overall, it was a very fun day, and I came joint 4th with a guy who was playing Custodes. So I think for a first ever tournament, joint 4th out of 6, it's not the best, but considering what my game knowledge was at and everything, and tournament knowledge, I'm quite happy with that position. Now my friend who had told me about this tournament and was also playing Custodes in this league, in the neophyte division, he won every single game by a lot, and he has since been banned from playing in the neophyte league anymore. He has to play Acolyte now because he just won too much, which going into the event people kind of knew he probably shouldn't have been playing in neophyte, but his excuse was he was trying a brand new army. It just happens that his army is one of the strongest and toughest armies in the entire game, and it was basically game over when he plopped down the Custodes with a tank and everything. So yeah, that is the story of my first tournament. I had a very good time, won a game, I accomplished some of my personal goals, which was to win a game, have my Demon Prince actually do something useful on the table for once, and I definitely understand the game a lot better now. It was just being thrown into it, having to stand up for like just 10 hours straight, rolling dice, moving models around, measuring things. It just really cemented in a bunch of knowledge. and things into my head. So by the end of it, I didn't even have to use my cheat sheet that I had for what dice I had to roll and how many I had to roll and stuff. So that was definitely worth the experience just for learning a bit better and getting better game knowledge. I actually enjoyed it so much that there's another tournament, a doubles tournament coming up in about a month, where you take 1,000 points each, you and a partner, and yeah, you do doubles. And what I am actually thinking of doing is I'm in the middle of converting some Space Marines into Death Watch for said tournament, where I'm going to enter with my friend who won the last tournament here. So they're going to maybe go some Death Watch and either Space Marine, like Ultramarines, Dark Angels, or maybe Custodies, depending on how badly we want to try hard and win the tournament. But we'll see how we go when we get a bit closer. So yeah, as you can see on the screen, I'm doing some conversions already. I've got a Librarian there with the Pauldron on. The Infernus squad's almost done, it's got a few more Pauldrons to fix up, and you can see the rest of the army there. I've got some Terminators, Bike Squad, all the character models, the Ballistas Dreadnought. Should hopefully have around about 1,000 points of them. If not, we'll have to see how we go. But yeah, that is the tale of my first ever Warhammer tournament, which I would say was a decent success. Definitely, I wouldn't say overwhelming success, but very decent success. I had fun, I learned a lot, and it got me back into the mood for painting and building and playing Warhammer. And speaking of, if you guys want to see some more Warhammer content, I can do another similar video where I actually remember to take pictures of all the games. But a similar video to this one where I kind of describe the next tournament if I end up going. If you want to see some painting videos or any like kind of hobby videos where I'm like painting up these Death Watch or converting some of the models into Death Watch or whatever, let me know in the comments if you are interested in any of that kind of thing. I'd definitely be very keen to show some more. If you don't want to see it on the channel necessarily, but if you do want to check it out, some painting stuff just kind of on the sly or stuff, I do have an Instagram where I post some Warhammer hobby stuff. There's not that many posts on it, but it gives you a bit of a more detailed look at some of the painting stuff that I've done. And as I keep going, I'll definitely be posting more. As I go for this Death Watch army, I'll definitely be posting some more of that on there. And yeah, that is enough Warhammer talk for this video, I think. Now I will quickly jump back into the Minecraft aspect, and we're gonna have a quick look at what's been going on here in the background while I've been yammering away. Alrighty, welcome to the Minecraft segment of this video. So as you can see, or as you've been seeing in the background of the video, I've been kind of expanding what I want to call the industrial district over here. So I had these bridges going across here, and I thought it looked kind of silly just being a big, like, flat bits of water with nothing really happening. And as this is kind of like the factory area, you kind of got, well, this looks really ugly from the top. I need to fix this up a little bit. Looks real bad. But this is, yeah, kind of like the industrial district. You've got the iron farm over there, the village farm. I'll probably end up setting like a trading hall somewhere for the villagers. And it's also kind of like the interchange for the rail system. So we're going to have the rail system coming through here, and then going off in that direction to go towards the stronghold. So I thought I'd kind of just spice it up a little bit. So I've added this, I don't know, mine shaft kind of structure thing in the middle here. I'm I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the gaps here. Could maybe do some like market stalls, some fishing boats, that kind of thing. I'm definitely going to add a few more bits and bobs, but I thought that this would be a nice kind of centralized structure. So you can have a bit of a closer look at that. You know, kind of got some bridges going around. This is meant to be kind of like drill bits, or like have some buckets on the end of here for like well, for a mine shaft kind of thing. So it doesn't go that deep, so I might add some stuff to make it look a bit more what have you. But for now, I'm quite happy with how the basic layout has turned out. Maybe I'll join up these ones fully so it looks a bit more structurally sound. But for now, it's a good blueprint, I think. I can't build too much closer over there because I can throw off the spawn points of the golems, of the iron golems. Because the way that it's set up, actually, I put one dirt block here because I was like, I had a spare one, and then immediately an iron golem spawned on it, and I had to put him down manually. So I got to be very careful building too close to the farm over here. But otherwise, this area here is coming along quite nicely. I think we need to update this building, add some things, maybe like market stalls along here, set up the village trading hall, potentially on this side over here. I'm not sure yet. And then I also want to do like build a bit of a ship here in the harbor, and then maybe have like a crane dropping some cargo onto it. So really make this like an industrial district area. I think that would look really cool. So that is the Minecraft part of this video done. Oh, not quite actually. I did add a little bridge here going over the rail. So we're gonna have the fence. Hello, sir. We're gonna have the fence running all the way around, basically over to the ice, I think. And then yeah, just a little bridge, so we can get to the rest of the village. But yeah, that is where I think I'm gonna leave it for today. I know it's a bit different to what I normally do on this channel, but if you're a fan of that, let me know, and we can definitely keep going with it. If not, I can maybe keep that kind of thing to my Instagram page that I have for Warhammer, or it can be a very rare, a very scarce little addition to the channel. But either way, thank you very much as always for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, it really means a lot and it helps the channel out. If you want to see more Minecraft stuff, and you came for the Warhammer, stick around, subscribe, and you'll see some more Minecraft for sure. If you came for the Minecraft and you want to see more Warhammer, still subscribe if you haven't already, because I'll definitely be doing more of that if I get enough positive feedback on this kind of video. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next episode.